before the action, a first glimpse of things to come. The launch of the new World Rally Championship season at the Autosport International Motorsport Show in the UK. Thousands of fans and the world's media gathering as the WRC once again took centre stage in Birmingham. Plenty of familiar faces, sporting fresh colours in several cases after a lively, close season on the driver merry-go-round. Similar machines to last year, gleaming proudly in fresh liveries, fans keen to get close to the cars and the crews alike. They won't look pristine for long though, their mission to tackle the world's toughest terrain. Monte-Carlo, the traditional curtain raiser to the WRC season. The action beginning in the darkness on Thursday evening. Reigning champion Sébastien OGIER steady in the shadows. It was easy to get carried away though and try to steal the initiative. Teemu Suninen tried it. His Fiesta ended up in a ditch. Highs and lows for Chris Meek on his Toyota debut. Tearing through stage 1, but down 5 places to 7th after a tyre was ripped from its rim on stage 2. Friday morning, Ott TÄNAK overlooked an obstacle in a fast cut on stage 7. The Yaris wheel needing immediate attention. Ott now down to 7th. Sébastien Loeb, after a surprise move to Hyundai, bagged his first stage win for his new team. But late road position put him on gravel-strewn roads and he slipped down to 5th. Thierry NEUVILLE was leading when he came across a subtle junction left on stage 6. A little bit too much speed, a swift recovery, but it would prove to be costly. Meanwhile, Ogier was ready to attack, pouncing on stage 7, using a different tyre combination to NEUVILLE and leading the rally by 14 seconds by the close of play. Esa-Pekka Lappi has struggled through the opening tests. On Saturday, a lingering engine issue put him and his car out of its misery. Disappointment too for Andreas Mikkelsen. Retirement in the closing corners of stage 9 as an impact ripped the left rear wheel from his I-20. Game over from 3rd place. M Sport's Elfyn Evans was running in 7th when early in stage 10 he slid across the icy asphalt and into the woods. Evans' rally over. Ott TÄNAK mounted a masterful comeback, winning 6 stages in a row on Saturday and Sunday to put him back onto the podium. Meanwhile, Ogier's approach was simple. Push when dry, cautious when it wasn't. He led NEUVILLE going into the final day by just 4.3 seconds. The penultimate stage, NEUVILLE pulling out a sublime run to cut the gap between him and Ogier to just 0.4 of a second going into the power stage. But it was the 6-time champion who held his nerve through La Cabernet to clinch his 6th successive Rally Monte-Carlo victory and completing an almost perfect weekend, delivering Citroen's 100th rally win in this, their 100th anniversary. An emotional Ogier on top of the world in the closest ever finish to Monte-Carlo, just 2.2 seconds ahead of NEUVILLE. Ott TÄNAK on the podium for a 3rd successive year. Sébastien Loeb 4th in his first outing with Hyundai. Confirmation then, Ogier with 29 from a possible 30 points, Chris Meek 4th after picking up maximum points in the power stage, Hyundai the early pace setters in the Manufacturers' Championship.
Snow and ice on the menu for round 2 of the World Rally Championship. The various grip levels caught out even world champions. Marcus Gronholm, on a one-off return, spun on the first 4 stages of Sweden, finally ending his day under a pine tree. Current championship leader Seb Ogier also struggled to grip the ice. The snowbanks are usually friends, but this year foes, sending the reigning world champion into the undergrowth, stuck solid. Ogier's teammate Esa-Pekka Lappi had luck on his side. This high-speed excursion did little damage. A real Houdini moment, if ever there was one. Jari-Matti Latvala was making history this weekend as the longest-serving WRC driver. Fighting for the lead of the rally, he pushed too hard on worn tyres in the dark and finished his day far from the podium, in a snowbank. No surprise that a Finn was leading after Friday, but perhaps the identity was. Teemu Suninen was head of the standings after the first day. it didn't take long for him to lose the lead on Saturday. This slide on stage 14 was the last of many moments. Without issue, Ott TÄNAK flew into the lead. The thrill of Colin's crest is big enough. Sébastien OGIER completed the leap, only to get it all crossed up on the exit. Oh, a lucky escape. The battle for second place was tight, and Thierry NEUVILLE was pushing hard. Round he went, and he got away with it. Teammate Andres Mikkelsen was the target, and on the final night stage, Esa-Pekka Lappi caught him to join him in second. Struggling with a lack of fresh tyres on Sunday, Mikkelsen slipped down to fourth behind NEUVILLE, and Lappi held his nerve. But no mistakes, the weekend belonged to Ott TÄNAK. Maximum points from his first win on snow and ice. NEUVILLE joined Lappi and TÄNAK on the podium, and with two strong finishes, the Estonian leads the championship. OGIER slips to third with a solitary 2 points from the power stage alone. Toyota and Hyundai just a point apart at the head of the manufacturer standings. Rally Mexico kicked off in the historic city of Guanajuato on Thursday evening with a stunning opening street stage. First on the road on Friday was a new experience for Ott TÄNAK, championship leader, but he was fourth by day two. Timo Suhonen had the first big off. Rally over on stage 2. Thierry NEUVILLE lost 44 seconds on the same stage as his tyre delaminated early on, an uphill struggle for the rest of his rally. Teammate Andres Mikkelsen hit this rock. It damaged the tyre, then his suspension collapsed by the end of stage 5. Rally 2 would beckon for him. Danny Sordo was in second place when the heat got to his electrics, leaving him stranded on the way to stage 7. After Sweden's Houdini moment, another great escape for Esa-Pekka Lappi, although the whole rally was going to be a struggle for the Finn. Just one stage win, but thanks to Seb OGIER's consistency, he'd lead going into Saturday. A steep downhill left at the end of stage 10 caught out Lappi once more. This time, his luck ran out. At the time, OGIER was nursing a flat tyre when the stage was red flagged due to Lappi's car considered to be in a dangerous position. A notional time was given and the reigning champion dropped to second. It was Chris Meek who was spellbinding to take the lead, but a puncture just one stage later damaged his suspension and dropped the Brit to a lonely fifth. Elfyn Evans was putting together his best performance since Portugal last year. Second going into Sunday, he slipped to third overall after TÄNAK won both Sunday morning stages. But a puncture in the power stage meant no bonus points for the Estonian. Still, an impressive weekend. No one could touch Sébastien OGIER in his C3. Despite various problems, he took maximum points and moved to just 4 points of the championship lead. 11 years ago, this was where his winning began in a Citröen C2, and now WRC win number 46. It was a 30-second advantage over TÄNAK, with NEUVILLE in fourth and a lonely Meek in fifth. Power stage points helped Meek hold on to fourth in the standings, behind NEUVILLE, OGIER in second, and TÄNAK holding on to top spot. Toyota at the head of the manufacturer standings, with Citröen sliding ahead of Hyundai into second.
First tarmac rally of the season, winding its way around the twisty mountain tracks of Corsica. And it was a good job Sébastien OGIER wasn't looking the other way on stage 1, evading some stray cows, only to nose his C3 into a right-hander a few corners later. Chris Meek was up on the splits, but the front left of his Toyota Yaris was gone by now. He blamed a mistake in his pace nose. And stage 1 wasn't finished as far as taking prisoners was concerned. Sebastian Loeb, 4-time winner here, slipped wide, hit a roadside curb. That broke his suspension and cost him almost 2 minutes. Ott TÄNAK, though, was quick, avoiding the pitfalls that had bothered many of the WRC's big names. He was running in second. Out in front, Elfyn Evans was enjoying the best day of his season, at the end of which he'd won 3 stages and was leading the rally. That lead wouldn't last long though. TÄNAK quickly settling into his rhythm on Saturday, winning the first 2 stages and overtaking Evans by lunchtime. But then bad luck for our championship leader, forced to change a wheel and dropping down the leaderboard. That incident helped lift local hero Sébastien OGIER up to 3rd. And Evans was back into the rally lead, but when the clock stopped at the end of the day, Neuville was quickest and he moved up a place into the lead for the first time. And once again the lead changed on Sunday morning. Evans winning the penultimate stage, and then into the power stage, disaster. His front right wheel destroyed, and so was his rally. Evans slipping to 3rd. OGIER consistent all weekend, finishing 2nd. Neuville gifted his first victory of the season. Confirmation then, victory for Neuville, 40 seconds ahead of OGIER. A 3rd place and a podium finish, scant consolation for Elfyn Evans. And with that victory, Neuville takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship, just 2 points ahead of OGIER. TÄNAK only 3 points further back in 3rd. And Hyundai up from 3rd to 1st in the Manufacturers' Championship ahead of Citröen and Toyota.
Round 5, Rally Argentina, and the roughest test yet. After several days of heavy rain, Thierry NEUVILLE lost 13 seconds and 9 places in the opening stage alone. Despite the tricky conditions, only 1 retirement on the opening day. It was a big one though. Lappy and firm, shaken but okay. Ott TÄNAK took the lead from Meek in stage 7, the longest of the rally, but 1 stage later, a broken drive shaft pushed him down to 3rd. Consistency was key for Neuville, who steadily climbed back to the top of the leaderboard by the end of Friday. A very different Saturday started with a bang for Elfyn Evans. This monumental drift ending with a meeting in a boulder and the end of Elfyn's rally. Another to DNF on Saturday was Ott TÄNAK, who again was poised to win back the rally lead. Instead, hit by an electrical problem, the Toyota parked up on the side of the road. Sébastien OGIER's hopes of victory were dented on stage 11. 2 possible routes at this gate. Hesitating, he took the left option and clipped the gate, breaking the power steering. Chris Meek took the right-hand side through the gate. That meant leaving the agreed route. The stewards handed him a 10-second penalty, dropping him back behind OGIER for the final day. Things look very rosy for Hyundai going into Sunday. Mikkelsen in 2nd place, Neuville way out front with a lead of some 45 seconds. The battle was for the final podium spot, with Meek faster than OGIER heading into the power stage and back in 3rd. But OGIER found some pace in the Wolf power stage to claim the 5 points, and the last gasp move back onto the podium. Andreas Mikkelsen's consistency left him untouchable in 2nd, his first podium since Sweden last year. And Neuville completed the Hyundai 1-2, the first for the team since Poland 2017. Outside the podium, Meek was a disappointed 4th, Latvala claiming 5th on the final day. In the Drivers' Championship, the order hasn't changed, but the gaps have enlarged, with Meek moving to 4th ahead of a pointless Evans. And with a 1-2, Hyundai extend their lead, now ahead of Toyota, who despite a tricky weekend, move ahead of Citröen. Round 6 made history. Chile became the 32nd host country, and they made some noise to celebrate. Into the unknown, Thierry NEUVILLE, championship leader, first to find Chile was slippy. A nominal time for stage 2 helped Hyundai onto the podium before lunch on Friday. But the Belgian didn't stay there for long. Jari-Matti Latvala found the feeling on Friday was similar to Finland, so he knew what was needed to move into third by the end of the day. Ahead of those two, Sébastien OGIER. Despite overshooting this bridge, just a single kilometre into Rally Chile, he pushed in his Citröen, but was unable to match the pace of Ott TÄNAK out front. He made the 31-kilometre El Puma stage his happy hunting ground, winning both passes confidently, leaving him 22.4 seconds ahead at the end of Friday. Day 2 started with a bang for Chris Meek. On the very first stage of the morning. No windscreen, he remarkably kept going flat out. Meek's was bad, NEUVILLE's was way, way worse. Thankfully, they walked away, a testament to the safety measures now in WRC. Latvala's great run in third continued until the very last stage of Saturday. He hit that rock and broke a drive shaft. That meant Seb Loeb inherited the final podium spot. Now Hyundai's greatest hope, and he began to close on OGIER. The Citröen hit rain on the final Saturday stage, serving up a spicy Sunday. OGIER was able to equal Loeb on every push and secured second. TÄNAK was on top of the world. He had not put a foot wrong. 5 stage wins plus full points from the power stage. The Estonian was a worthy winner of the inaugural Rally Chile. It's now his favourite rally of them all. The gap was 23.1 seconds between the top two. A solid weekend for M Sport Ford, 4th and 5th. OGIER now leads the championship going into Portugal, with NEUVILLE dropping to 3rd with his no score. Meek holds on to 4th ahead of Evans. No change in the manufacturer's order. Hyundai lead Toyota, with Citröen just 6 points off 2nd.
Seb OGIER said he wouldn't expect too much from Portugal. The championship leader knew the reputation of this place. First car into the stages, only hard work kept him in touch with the podium places on Friday. Danny Sordo spotted an opportunity. Great road position, but he was raging when a mystery fuel feed problem robbed his car of power and sent him crashing from the lead. Same stage, Seb Loeb, also nursing a sick Hyundai. There was no quick fix. 15.5 minutes lost and any opportunity for points. Lots of pressure on Thierry NEUVILLE, the sole healthy Hyundai. A stage winner in the afternoon. His only regret, he'd stalled the car in stage 2, but he was in 4th and was ahead of Seb OGIER. Dust, it was getting everywhere. On stage 2 we found Seb Marshall flicking hand signals at Chris Meek. The intercom was failing. Seb was giving the instructions by hand. Chris ended Friday in 3rd place. Jari-Matti Latvala didn't win a stage on Friday, but he was in 2nd. Everyone, once again, admiring the work of rally leader Ott TÄNAK after another fabulous Friday. Latvala led the hunt for TÄNAK on Saturday, but his chance ended on the road to the day's final stage. A damper on his Yaris could take the punishment though. Still eyeing the podium, Seb OGIER. He'd yet to win a stage, but he still believed. Had he saved the right rubber for one final push? With Latvala out, Northern Ireland's Chris Meek was in 2nd. The car was now suiting him like a set of threads from Savile Row. The leader after 13 stages, Ott TÄNAK, just. Despite a few scares with a damper that sent him sliding off the stage, and later bounding towards the end of the day. On the first run before the famous FAF stage. Esa-Pekka Lapin got his C3 hooked in too far on a hairpin and rolled over and over. At the famous jump, his suspension gave way. The fin was out a few kilometres before the end. Chris Meek's suspension failed him in the woods of the power stage. He'd started the day with 18 points in his hands. He'd ended it on a truck, empty-handed. The cleverest end to the weekend was from the leader, TÄNAK, by winning the rally, but also reining himself in right at the close to hand OGIER 2 more power stage points than him. The championship lead, and with it the job of being first on the road through the dust of the next round Sardenha. TÄNAK the winner, his 3rd win of the season, the first in Portugal, from Neuville in 2nd, OGIER in 3rd, the 3 title rivals at the end of another monumental dust-up.